Good morning, everybody. It is so nice to be here, and certainly I must admit that this side of the park is an upgrade. We're so close to the lake. It feels like we moved up, even though we are not higher, a bit lower, but we moved up, which is pretty symbolic. To some extent, this is the time of the year in which we try to elevate ourselves, right? We call it high holidays. So maybe this is a metaphor to teach us that you don't necessarily need to climb mountains in order to go up. Robert Walden was speaking yesterday. Michael was speaking yesterday about this idea that we are not all empty containers. And he was pondering what are the things that we need to do in order to recognize what we have in our containers and fill those containers. And he said that spirituality is work. It's not a experience. It's not that I'm feeling spiritual. It's the work and engagement in our life experiences. So I want to invite you in this morning of Shabbat to be present, to be here, and to try to find not necessarily spirituality. You'll decide if you find that or not. But to find a moment of connection for yourself. That moment of connection might not be the entire service. It might be a melody. It might be one of our tefillot, a poem. But to open your eyes and your minds and to open our hearts to those connections. We will now turn our Siddur to page 192 as we will recognize our tenth. עליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך So we turn our Sidurim to page 194. I invite you to take a moment. For those that actually were doing yoga a couple of minutes ago, you're already there, in that place. So go back to that place of connection with your body. And for those that haven't been doing yoga, to take a moment to think about our bodies, to think about the connection with your body, and to try to dedicate a moment of loving attention to your body, to focus on your breath. Maybe take a deep breath. To say, Baruch Ata Adonai, Rofe, Kol Basar, Turn our theory now to page 196 for the blessing for our souls.
נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה, טהורה היא. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה, טהורה היא. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא. אלוהי נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא.
Source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praise you, Adonai, in whose hands every living soul, and the breath of humankind. Baruch Ata Adonai, Asher Beyado, Nefesh Kol Chai, Ruach Kol Basar Ish. We'll now turn our Sidurim to page 198 for the blessings for the daily miracles. I want to point out that these blessings are divided in two very clear sections. One section that totally focuses on our bodies. It's an acknowledgement of our bodies. And then we start thinking about our existence, the fact that we are here. In that moment, we give gratitude for being who we are. We give gratitude for our identities. I want to invite you to think for a moment about what are the things that you go about in your life related to your body, related to your identity, related to your strengths, to your power, that are pillars of your life, and you sometimes don't take a moment to acknowledge them, to recognize them. Try to recognize something that without it would be really, really difficult to go about your day. Visualize it. And hold it in your heart. So now that you have it, we will add, at the end of the Birkot HaShachar, we'll add a space for you to say your blessing, that thing that you are grateful for.
Who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. That's about our lower back.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the water.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our strength.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked.
I want to give you one insight. Clothe the naked is malbish arumim. And it goes back all the way, for those that were on Saturday morning, to the garden, to that moment of embarrassment. Busha means embarrassment, and malbush means clothing. And so we also give thanks in the morning for the ability to feel embarrassment, and also for the ability to keep some of the things that are embarrassing to us in private. To be able to choose what we want to share, what we want to expose. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has created all human beings equal.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given me free will.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor. Amen. We will now turn our Sidurim to page 212. With all these blessings in our hearts, with this sense of gratitude for the blessing for the Psukei de Simbra, the section of our service, in which we try to uplift our souls, to elevate our souls with song.
Baruch Shemot Haolam, Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemot, Baruch Hoseh Bereshit, Baruch Omer Be'Hoseh, Baruch Gozeh Umekayem, Baruch Merachem Al Haaretz, Baruch Merachem Al Habriot, Baruch Shalem Sachatol Bereach, Baruch Hai Lahad Ekayam Lanetzach, Baruch Podeh Umahatzir, Baruch Hu, Baruch Shemo,
Baruch atah Adonai melech me'olam, v'tishbachot Baruch atah Adonai melech le'olam v'tishbachot. We'll commence the Psukei de Simra in Shabbat on page 214 with Psalm 92 is Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
Shir Leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir. 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 Shir Leyom HaShabbat.
At the top of page 215, happy are those who find that place, their place. אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו, אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו, אשרי יושבי ביתך, יהללוה סלה, אשרי יושבי ביתך, יהללוה סלה, אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו, אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני For pages 215, 216, we invite you to go along with the words of our tradition, or the words of Psalm 145, or alternatively, take a moment and think about your space, your place of connection. What's that happy place, literally? Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha. The bottom of page 216, that's words of Ashrei, or hope to become a container of gratitude. Tehillah אתה אדוני יברכי ויברך כל השם קודשו לעולם לעולם בהם אנחנו נברך יה מעתה לכל עולמה הללויה הללויה תהילת אדוני יברכי ויברך כל בשר של קודשו לעולם לעולם בהר אנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם הללויה הללויה אנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם הללויה הללויה הללויה. Page 218, Psalm 150, hallelujah. כל הנשמה תהלליה, הללויה, כל הנשמה תהלליה, הללויה, כל הנשמה תהלליה, הללויה, כל הנשמה תהלליה, הללויה. Remember your blessing for gratitude? Now, try to think about it. Take a look around. Maybe you take a moment to visualize the beautiful landscape, the beautiful people around us. Even if our mouths were full of song as the sea, we could never coin the words that represent the depths of our gratitude. So maybe without words, just take a moment. With that sense of gratitude, we'll now turn our Sidurim to page 300. ברוך אתה אדוני, מלך גדול בתשבחות, נפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך מלכי העולמים. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכו ובימיכו ובחייתכו בית ישראל. עגלה ועגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יש מרב המבורך לעולם ולעולמי עמיה. יתברך וישתבח, יפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא,
ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמרי קודשה ריחו לילה מנפו וחטא ושירתה קדוש וחטא מלך ומעתה דמירן ועמה וימרו Amen.
We'll now turn our Sidurim to page 226 for Barhu. Please rise.
Lie awake, am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed Yalalai lai lai 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 Yalalai lai
Maybe see the... Everything changed stood up. I don't know, for you. Maybe you want to find, once again, your place in your chair. We are on page 228. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם יוצר אור ובורא חושך עושה שלום ובורא את הכל. Praise are you Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. And at the bottom of page 228, for Hadash al Zion Ta'ir, be praised Adonai our God for the excellent work of your hands and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, and we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praise are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly light. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMevorot. For the Shema, we are always reminded to think about the source of everlasting love. We are reminded that it's very difficult, maybe impossible, to find unity with a divine idea, with the idea that this world was created for us, without feeling, without perceiving ourselves as love. So before going to Shema, I want to invite you to take one moment, just one moment, to picture, to visualize what's that source of love for you. Maybe a person, maybe a memory, maybe hope for the future, landscape, maybe this moment of community, prayer and music, maybe the friend sitting next to you. that love in our hearts, in our minds, is that we can say, at the bottom of page 230, Baruch Ata Adonai Abocher Be'amo Israel Be'ava. We'll now turn our Sidurim to page 232 for the Shema. Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Page 234. את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Adonai said to Moses as follows: Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of wood to the fringe of each corner. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all the commandments of Adonai, and observe them, so you do not follow your heart and your eyes and your lustful urge. Lema'an tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim להיות לכם לאלוהים Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Salomim, page 238. האמת ביציב בחביב רב, וביפה המסרים הרב. Joy, Moshe, Miriam, and the children of Israel sang to you together. Who is like you, O God, Micha Mocha, thy name Adonai, we're on page 240.
Micha Mocha, neheta b'kodesh. Micha Mocha, ba'elim Adonai. Micha Mocha, neheta b'kodesh. Norati hilot osef elef. Norati hilot osef elef. שירה חדשה, שיבחו גאולים, לשמחה שפת הים. שירה חדשה, שיבחו גאולים, לשמחה שפת הים. יחד כולם הודו והדביקו ואמרו אדוני נמלוך לעולם ועד.
ישראל, ובנצרת ישראל, ובני דומך יהודה וישראל. אוי גואלנו, אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל, אלי, 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 ברוך אתה, אדוני, גואל ישראל. We're now turn our theory to page 242, as we will continue with Tfilat Amidah. We will recite the first 3 verses together, and then we will continue in silence. Open up my lips, and my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וגודלי הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם, למען שמו באהבה.
צופנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. צופנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. חותנו וחותנו בספר החיים. למענך, למענך, אלוהים חיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים. וחותנו וחותנו בספר החיים. למענך, למענך, אלוהים חיים. ולחוסנו מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בזרעת שרה.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים לרוב וחולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לו. מלך מימית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אב הרחמים, זוכה יצורה לחיים ורחמים. ונאמן אתה החיות החום, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי החום.
מקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בצמאון, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרס את צבאון. קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו, אדוני אדוננו, מדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה, לדור ודור נגיד קודמך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, בשבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Today we celebrate of תפילת עמידה. At the bottom of page 258, during the 10 days of Teshuvah, Aseret Yamei Teshuvah, we add the words, and of course in Shabbat Teshuvah, the Sefer Chaim, the book of life, of blessing and peace. We ask to be written, we ask to be remembered. We ask to find the courage and the wisdom to be those who write books of life, blessing, and peace.
ספר חיים ברכה ושלום ופרנסה טוב טובה, מזרח ברכה ושלום ופרנסה טובה. ניזכר ונתנתק לפניך. אנחנו בכל עמך בית ישראל, לחיים טובים ולשלום
ברוך אתה אדוני, מברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. Blessed are you, Adonai, for giving us the blessing, the wisdom, and the strength to make peace. We'll now turn our Sidurim to page 362 in order to commence our Torah service. It's pretty beautiful to have the opportunity to read Torah in the park, and this is also a great opportunity to thank all those that made this gathering possible, right? The Torah didn't just come and appear here. So we have an entire village working for the things. Thank you, Diego, and Connor, and Jennifer, and Shanda, and Trista for leading the morning session, and Emily, who is leading the children activity, and our organizers, and Bonita, and Joy, and all those that took part in organizing, and Mark, and look, we all, like half of the people here, were working. That's the definition of community. Not someone else for someone else. We are making it for ourselves, which is pretty amazing, pretty fantastic. And of course, clergy to be here. And for us, it's a bit easier, right? We came. And we have all these wonderful people organizing and making things happen. So we are deeply, deeply grateful. And with that said, we will now turn our Sidurim to page 362 in order to commence.
אין כמוך באלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך. מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז למוהיתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
Please rise.
כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו. אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו.
גדול אדוני הציל, ולרוממה שמו יחדיו. אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד, כי Kiho bashamayim u'ba'aretz, Kiho bashamayim u'ba'aretz. Adonai amam na'aka v'yamid na'aseh lechol rosh. Hu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishacharu lechol rosh. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishacharu lechol rosh. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishacharu lechol rosh. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu
Maybe see that. It is quite symbolic. I was about to transition into something else, and I noticed that you were there and you were there. It was so nice to hear your voices. So never have left that. And it is symbolic because actually, this Torah portion, which is arguably one before the last one or the last one of the Torah, you know what? Why is that? Is this the last Torah portion or one before the last Torah portion? How do we define that? One before the last. Is what? If you want to use your microphones. And by the way, we're going to do some teaching to it. What? Penultimate. Oh, we're waiting to use the word probably. You know how to say that in Spanish? Spanish is penúltima. Sounds better, in my opinion. It has more authority. In Hebrew, actually, it's a completely different thing. It's אחד לפני האחרון, right? Like, no, pause.
One from the end.
זה אחד לפני האחרון, נכון? לא. Yeah, אחד לפני
One
האחרון.
from the end.
It's a very descriptive thing. It's not a word. It's a smaller. We have fewer words in Hebrew, right? So it is symbolic in the context of. Before I go into the next thing, let's close the one I opened. This is the last Shabbat in which we actually run with the Torah portion. We are going to read the last Torah portion of the Torah, not in Shabbat. When are we going to read that?
When could it be?
Well, this year is going to be in Shabbat, actually. That's not it's complicated. That technically speaking, we wouldn't read this in Shabbat. It would take this year the holiday of Shmini Atzeret, the 8th, stopping on the 8th, which we have paired with Simchat Torah, happens to fall in Shabbat. And therefore, we will read this Torah portion in Shabbat. But generically speaking, the last reading of the Torah portion takes place on a different holiday. And this Torah portion that we do read in Shabbat ends with, or begins, and it's at the end of the Torah portion, and the Torah itself, the career of Moshe ends with a song. You know, a microphone gets open for him, and he starts singing. Really complicated words. Really, it's one of the most complicated Torah portions.
Yep.
It's difficult to pronounce. The Hebrew is kind of weird. And all this singing, there are a few very beautiful words, and then there are a bunch of rebukes. Just in case that you forget, I want you to remember. There are so many things in this song. And Rabbi Michael yesterday took one sentence out of this song, and he made an entire Dvar Torah. So
And there's a lot more.
Today we're going to take half of a sentence. We're going to minimize it.
Maybe a little more.
Actually, half. Yeah, we'll cut it. So anyway, we're going to cut half of a sentence, and we're going to do some study. Instead of we speaking, we're going to talk to each other, and it's going to be very simple and very straightforward. You have pages, right? So I want just to introduce the idea. If you look before you go into your conversations, you will notice that in your sidurim, when we recite Filat Amidah, in the second blessing called Gevurot, you will say that when we say Mechaye Ametim, who revives the dead, or Mechaye Akol, everything, kind of more of a generic idea. The word Akol comes from a resolution that the Reform movement made in 1885, part of the Pittsburgh Platform, in which the idea of the revival of the dead became, in the opinion of most people at the time, not only Reform Jews, also Orthodox Jews, became obsolete, became like a wrong idea. And so they decided that they need to find some different way. And we ended up with the word Akol that is used in other contexts, in our services. For example, when we say Yotzer Or, Ubore Choshech, Oseh Shalom, Ubore Et Hakol, creator of light, creator of darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. That's not how it's written in the Mishnah. In the Mishnah it's written creator of evil. And then the rabbis, and those that were editing the Siddur, like 2,000 years ago, for liturgical reasons, we want to have it more poetic. And they went with Akol. In our context, we went with Akol in the context of a revival of the dead, which appears in this Torah portion. So I want you to we're going to take exactly 15 minutes to screen this. Now, you know how Hebrutas work? I'll tell you. Hebruta means study in pairs or trios. I want to recommend that if you are sitting with your partner, that you sit with someone else. You find someone else, a friend, someone you don't know, not necessarily your partner, not the person you slept with the night before. In this case, Noga and I can sit together. We have been distancing. But I think I'm coming back tonight. I'm done with the couch. So, what?
Need to Shechekianu. Need to say Shechekianu.
So, anyway, so what I want to recommend you sit with someone else, and we read out loud, so we don't read to ourselves. And the idea is to engage a little bit in the conversation. We put some guiding questions. So starting, no, not. You are using. You are missing. Oh no. This one. Parashat Azinu. This one. This is the text that we are using. You see it?
Does everybody have it?
Parashat Azinu. 5,784 class made based on a Dvar Torah, on a teaching of Rabbi Eli